Good evening and welcome to Sunset News on this Monday evening. As always, we bring you news, community stories, economics, weather, sports, and so much more. I am Glenora Shipura. Getting into the news tonight, the Windhoek High Court this morning sentenced serial rapist Gavin Havanap, age 31, to an effective 57-year imprisonment for heinous crimes he committed against women and minor girls nearly 7 years ago. High Court Judge Dina Usiku, while delivering the judgment this morning, said that the sentence sends a clear message that crimes of rape will be dealt with harshly by the courts and warned that offenders must expect to be dealt with accordingly. She added, looking at the avalanche of crimes Havanap committed, the accused must be removed from society for a considerable period of time. No one is safe, and the court cannot see how anyone can be safe with him roaming freely. Havanap, who appeared unshaken as the sentence was handed down, carried out raping sprees in Windhoek and its surroundings on December 2012, May 2013, September 2015, September 2016, April 2017, and October 2018. Among his repugnant acts was when he strangled and raped his biological sister's minor child in Windhoek on the 26th of September 2015. Another victim, then aged 9 years old, was severely injured when Havanap cut her private parts with a knife and proceeded to rape her in the Danviljoen Game Reserve area on the 26th of October 2018. He was also found guilty of raping a woman after he led her away from her friends and subsequently stabbed her with a knife. Apart from rape, he was convicted on multiple other charges, including attempted rape, one involving a minor, assault by threat, assault with grievous bodily harm, kidnapping, and crimen injuria. In our next story, Health Minister Esperance Luvindao has revealed that several officials implicated in the 450,000 Namibian dollars medical theft scandal have already been suspended as the government intensifies efforts to root out systemic corruption in the public health system. Speaking on network televisions, The Agenda on Sunday, Luvindao confirmed that the swift action has already been taken. When asked whether anyone has been suspended so far, the minister said yes, many. She stressed that accountability would be visible and transparent. Luvindao argued that the public must be taken on the journey if trust is to be rebuilt. When you don't take the public on the journey, you can't blame them when they don't understand what's happening. Even in terms of medication registration, I now use every opportunity to inform and educate the public. These suspicions come against the backdrop of a wide-ranging investigation into allegations of theft, illegal procurement, and conflicts of interest in the ministry. Namibian Sun previously reported that the government is confident of making a breakthrough in unmasking those behind the syndicate, with employees from three key bodies: the Central Medical Stores, the Project Management Unit, and the Namibia Medicines Regulatory Council, fingered as central figures. At the center of the scandal is the procurement of quinine malaria tablets valued at 450,000 Namibian dollars, which reportedly entered Namibia through an unauthorized border post, were stocked at CMS and later distributed to health facilities before being recalled. During his inspection of projects in and around Rundu on Friday, Prime Minister Elijah Ngurare confirmed that Dama East Primary School is now deemed legal to operate. Kavanga East Governor Hamunyera Hambuka announced that 25 classrooms will be built, with construction starting once a contractor is appointed. Permanent structures are expected by January, while tents will be set up in the meantime. Teacher recruitment will follow a fair process, giving volunteer educators a chance to apply. Prime Minister Ngurare arrived at Dama East Primary School in Rundu last week, meeting the headmen and community members to assess dire learning conditions established by volunteers in 2022. The school was deemed illegal by the government, which urged pupils to move to the nearby Dama South Primary School. However, over 600 learners remained in makeshift classrooms of corrugated sheets and under trees, taught by volunteers without proper facilities. Parents argue the official school is overcrowded and too far. This was the community's reaction to the news. Have a look. During the same, during the same visit, Minister of Education Sanet Steenkamp spoke to Network Media Hub in Rundu, cautioning university students against dropping out in an anticipation of free education next year. She said a task force was still finalizing the process and that an announcement would soon clarify criteria for qualifying students and which courses will be covered. Steenkamp added that application fees will apply, with further course-related details to be explained once the framework is complete.
Finalize the process with the task force. They have met regularly, diligently every single week since their appointment, and they've made great strides. What's remaining now, we've already presented to Her Excellency, we've presented twice to the Minister of Finance, and what we are doing now is to have a final presentation to Cabinet, and then Her Excellency will come back and inform the nation. We don't want any student to cause harm to themselves and to drop out of university, out of tertiary, any tertiary institution, for the sheer reason that it may compromise their studies and also their decisions in the end. And pronouncements will have to be made. One thing is clear. One, application fees will always apply. So everybody has the right to apply for the course for which they qualify. However, as the announcement is made, we will be very clear as to for which courses, which qualification, why that, etc. All that will be explained in great detail. But we really want to discourage any student to drop out. Second, we wish to encourage the students to write their exams so that they know next year. And also what we want to emphasize also to the public is the contractual obligations of those that are with NSFAF already will still be honored. So there's no need to panic. But please give us time to finalize. We are very close to finalizing and for Her Excellency to make a pronouncement. And when she does, that will totally be her prerogative.
Thank you very much.
That concludes the top stories. We now move over to our story of the day. The municipality of Walvis Bay hosted its Town Hall COP on Thursday. The Town Hall COP is a local-level multi-stakeholder platform inspired by International Climate Conference of the Parties. It brings together representatives from government, civil society, youth, traditional leadership, academia, and the private sector to exchange ideas and shape strategies for local climate action. Here, Walvis Bay Mayor shares that the Harbour Town is one of the 10 local authorities globally to host Town Hall COP. Have a look.
Let me start off by saying how excited I am for Walvis Bay to host this Town Hall COP. You might not know, but we are only 10 local authorities globally who have been chosen to host this Town Hall COP. And I think that speaks volumes of the effort that our environmental department is putting into climate resilience and overall sustainability. So I'm quite proud of this department. I think it was a year back, Sarah, when we had last year we had a meeting where we had all of the mayors together, the Mayors Forum, where we wanted mayors to get involved in ICLEI and COMSA. COMSA is the Covenant of Mayors of Sub-Saharan Africa, and signing up to this is free of charge. I'm a member of the Covenant of Mayors for Sub-Saharan Africa. We are 12 executives that represent over 390 mayors from Sub-Saharan Africa. And as we know, Africa is the most severely affected when it comes to climate change. We contribute the least, and yet we benefit also the least when it comes to climate funding, especially Sub-Saharan Africa. And at COMSA and ICLEI, we are trying to change the narratives. We are trying to have the voices of local authorities heard when it comes to climate actions. We have all of these beautiful national agendas to address climate change, but doesn't really link into the needs of local authorities. So the belief is that local authorities, and I believe also traditional leaders, should have a seat at the table and have a discussion when it comes to issues affecting their people. We know that local authorities are the closest form of government to the people. We should advocate for local authorities really to have more impact and a say to how things are done. And also, what we're advocating for is for climate funding to reach local authorities.
Now, before diving into economic news, don't forget that ShopRite is celebrating its 35th anniversary by giving away $3,500 million in ShopRite vouchers to 35 lucky winners. That is 7 winners every week for the month of September. If you want to participate in this competition, do scan the QR code on the screen and follow the instructions from there. We will be right back with your economic news. In our economic news, Ray Kemp, the Chief Technology Officer for CMB Tech, partners with Ottawa and List Group in the Clean Energy Solutions Namibia Green Hydrogen Production and Refueling Facility outside Walvis Bay, explains what the facility officially opened on Thursday and is designed to do. Have a look.
Good morning. My name is Roy Kampe. I'm Chief Technology Officer of CMB Tech. I'm standing here at the grand opening of the Clean Energy plant at the Hydrogen Dune in Walvis Bay. This plant is unique because it fully produces green molecules off-grid. What does it entail? We have the Namibian sun that is being used to, let's say, produce electrons at our solar panel park of 5 megawatts. So it comprises 7,000 solar panels that is feeding an electrolyzer. An electrolyzer is a tool that splits water by electricity. If you split water, you have hydrogen molecules, which is a very powerful gas that we're going to use to power local applications. We are here standing next to, let's say, the first hydrogen truck, hydrogen bus, hydrogen tractor, all kinds of applications that can run on the clean fuel produced fully off-grid at this site. This is for us a base point for putting Namibia on the map to become a large-scale producer of clean fuels. What you need is the best sun, and Namibia is the top 2 in the world to have all year round the best sun conditions you can have. The land is available, and we can transform that into molecules from hydrogen towards ammonia. Because hydrogen is in some way not the best molecule to store energy. If you take nitrogen out of the air, combine it with hydrogen, you get the molecule ammonia. Ammonia is known in our industry for more than 100 years, and we produce it at large scale. If we're going to produce it in this country, we're going to pipe it to the port, where we're now designing a big tank that holds that ammonia. Once the ship in the port, we can fill up that ship, and it can run on that fuel, and we can bring that molecule towards the end customer. That's what we're here showing to the public today.
DNV Marine and Offshore Namibia opened its Walvis Bay office on Friday. DNV Namibia, part of DNV, a global independent expert in assurance and risk management. In Namibia, DNV provides various services with a focus on the maritime industry and business assurance. Country Manager for Namibia, Richard Bertrand Albert, shares more. DNV Namibia and the Namibian Association for Offshore Oil and Gas Service Providers signed a memorandum of understanding earlier on Friday at the opening of the Walvis Bay office of DNV Namibia. Have a look.
First of all, DNV actually stands for Det Norske Veritas. We are a Norwegian engineering foundation with a head office based in Oslo, Norway. This month we are celebrating 161 years of our existence and also 30 years of operations here in Namibia. We look after the safety of life, property and the environment for the maritime and offshore industry. And with that expertise that we have already, 161 years, 30 years of operations in Namibia, today we're opening our office here in Walvis Bay to bring all that expertise to the doorstep for the Namibians to make sure that we can all benefit from the big activities that's going to happen here in Namibia. Walvis Bay has always been a very important port, even back in the history of the maritime sector, and of course being a very important hub. Namibia expanding and becoming more and more an attractiveness for the oil and gas for maritime, it makes absolute sense for us to be here.
That wraps up the economic news. Up next, financial indicators. The Namibian dollar trades against the British pound at 23.36, against the euro at 20.38, against the US dollar at 17.35, to Namibian dollars and 44 cents against yuan, Chinese yuan. Under the commodities market, gold went up while copper, platinum, and Brent crude oil went down. Brent crude oil trading at 0.66%, going for $66 and 38 cents per barrel.
Mornings just got better, Namibia. From the latest headlines to the hottest trends, we're bringing you the conversations that matter.
That's right. Bright minds, bold opinions, and a touch of morning magic. This is your daily dose of energy.
So grab a cup and join in on the conversation every weekday morning at 8 o'clock with Smell the Coffee, hosted by Diana Master and Aina Riza Quayo.
In international news, the World Health Organization said on Thursday that 31 of the 38 confirmed Ebola cases have resulted in deaths in southern Congo, where authorities are battling a new outbreak of the deadly virus. The latest figures show the casualty rate has nearly doubled since last week from 16, and that the disease is spreading rapidly as more than 900 contacts have been identified so far, according to the World Health Organization. Now, vaccinations began in the affected regions on Sunday. More than 500 healthcare workers and contacts have received their vaccination, offering them crucial protection, said Dr. Patrick Otim from the World Health Organization Africa's program. He said 760 doses have already been delivered to Bulape, the locality at the center of the outbreak, while another 45,000 doses are expected to arrive soon in Kinshasa to reinforce the campaign. A fresh Ebola outbreak was announced by Congolese authorities on September 5th in the locality of Bolape in Kasai, a south-central region in Congo close to Angola. Last week, the Africa Centers for Disease Control and Prevention said the disease had spread from 2 districts to 4. An additional batch of vaccines approved by the International Coordinating Group on Vaccine Provision will start arriving from Friday through Sunday, according to the World Health Organization officials. Now, doses have been flown into Bolape in small batches because of limited storage capacity and difficult access to the area, officials said. We now take a look at the weather predictions for tomorrow. The capital city can expect a minimum of 16 and a maximum of 30 degrees Celsius with sunny weather conditions, while in the east, Hobabas can expect a minimum of 20 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 31 degrees Celsius with some showers. Henties Bay can expect a minimum of 12 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 16 degrees Celsius with partly cloudy conditions, while Ardens Lake can enjoy sunny weather with a minimum of 13 and a maximum of 28 degrees Celsius. We now hand over to the sports team with the sports news.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, and starting off with soccer news first. It is the English Premier League and its defending champions Liverpool still doing well. A good start for them in the season. 5 games played, 5 games won. The only undefeated team in the league at the moment. They've got 15 points and they're leading by 5 points over 3 teams. It is Arsenal, Tottenham Hotspur and Bournemouth, all of them on 10 points. And it was Arsenal that had a late equaliser again at home against Manchester City. Very tough game for them there, but it was 1-1 in the end. It was Arsenal versus Manchester City. Also, it was Tottenham Hotspur that drew 2-2, and that was away at Brighton. And then Bournemouth had a home game, but it was a 0-0 draw against Newcastle. Also, good result for Manchester United. They had a tough game at home, and that was against Chelsea. Manchester United winning that one by 2-1. They have now 7 points. They're in 11th position. Also, Manchester City currently on 7 league points in the current English Premier League. Moving on to rugby news, Women's World Cup continuing in England. It will be the final this coming weekend. It will be England, the host, that will play against Canada. What happened in the semi-finals of the weekend? England, they got the better of France. That was 35 points to 17. A bit of a surprise, defending champion, 6-time winners, that is the Black Ferns of New Zealand. The New Zealand women team out of the tournament lost in the semi-finals against Canada, and that score was 34 points to 19. So the final being played on Saturday, that is England against Canada. Moving on to Formula 1 racing news, it was the Azerbaijan Grand Prix in Baku, and it was Max Verstappen that won. He was on pole, he won the race leading from the front, and in second position it was George Russell in his Mercedes-Benz, and then in third position, a bit of a surprise, it was Carlos Sainz in his Williams. And not a good weekend for McLaren. It was Oscar Piastri, he crashed out on the first lap, and then only 7th position for Lando Norris. So that was the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. To close off today's international sports news, it is cricket news. It is the Asian Cup being played, 4 teams playing. It is Pakistan, India, also Sri Lanka and Bangladesh, and a fiercely contested game between India and Pakistan. And there's lots of conflict in the game. There's conflict between India and Pakistan after the 4-day war in April. So it was also very feisty on the field as well. No handshakes after the game, also no handshakes at the toss coin. In the end, it was India that won by 6 wickets, and it was Pakistan made 171 for 5, India 174 for 4 in their 20 overs. So the next game is on Tuesday. Pakistan play Sri Lanka, and then India play against Bangladesh on Wednesday. The 2 top teams out of the 4 play a final on Sunday. So that is international sports news for today. I hope you have a great sport day. We talk international sport again tomorrow. Goodbye.
When it comes to sports news, I only trust Ari Hohard and the rest of the Sports Rem team to keep me updated. On that note, we have come to the end of the broadcast. Thank you for tuning in and catching up with the latest news with Sunset News. From me, Glenn Orashipura, until next time.